Welcome to Designing Your Life Today, the podcast designed for people who want to build a magnificent life, profitable business, and lots of wealth. Everything you desire is waiting for you to claim it. There's no creating involved, only invention through imagination and building through action. You are at the center of all your desires, dreams, and achievements. Welcome to Designing Your Life Today, the podcast that's all about your success, achieving your goals, building wealth through your business, and building your most passionate, powerful, magnificent life. Discover ways to use your purpose to connect you to serving others and living your dreams. I am Pat Council, and I know you are built by design to win. And it all begins with knowing how to tap into your success energy. Let's get on the path of discovery, decisive action, development, and unwavering dedication to your life's calling. It's time to embark on a transformative journey where your deepest passions become your most rewarding achievements. Embrace your power to shape your destiny, because this is your moment to do life with power. Hello, Power Up Nation. I'm Pat Council, and I'm going to talk to you about what payment for business services represent. And I wanted to talk about this because I know that you see a lot of things that are offered free. And of course, this podcast is free to you. But I have lately been explaining to a lot of people in business, after listening to their stories, why they're not getting a return, why the money is not flowing in the way that they hoped, and what's going on with that. Remember, you're at the center of all the results that you get in your life, or the lack of results that you get in your life and your business. So that's something you want to remember. I know when we talk about building a profitable business, a lot of times I will give you some information that's connected to a system that I believe in, a system that I use, and a system that actually works. So, because the object of the game is for you to build a profitable business. But at the end of the day, I want you guys to understand that you can have the best system in the world, but because you're at the center of the results, that system may or may not work. And let me give you a clearer example. I have talked to people who shared with me some of the things that they were doing in their business. And in my mind, I'm thinking, wow, they have all of the right tools in their business. So what's stopping them? Why do they not have the results coming in? And as I listen to them talk, then it becomes very clear. Sometimes there's a little bit of emotional turmoil that's going on. Either it's coming from the outside, they're allowing it to come in and influence their work ethic or their ability to think. But most importantly, one of the things that I hear is that they're always looking for something. The ones who are having this struggle, they're always looking for something free. They're always thinking that they don't have to pay for business services. Well, there are some things that are offered free, and I'm here to tell you, you want to use those tools if they're going to help you. And so it's not so much that what's being offered is free. The problem is that what's being offered free, or the person who's using it, they're going after it specifically because it's free. They're not thinking, you know what, if I have to pay for this, then I'll go ahead and I'll pay for it. That it's not that big of a deal for me to invest in my own business. So payment for business services actually represents that you believe in your business and you're willing to do what it takes, even if that means investing in your business, investing in some knowledge that perhaps you need so that your business can thrive. I have worked with people who are on both sides of the scale. Some people expect that I would give them the knowledge that I've learned over years and years, and that I actually invested in myself to learn how to build something, and then they expect that I will give it to them free. And then I have others that I've dealt with, and they are willing to invest in themselves. And they respect the fact that I have a certain kind of knowledge. And it's not just me, but the person that they're trying to deal with. And they don't go with that sense of entitlement. So when it comes to you paying for your business services, it represents that you believe in your business and you're willing to do what it takes. And that's a very special kind of energy. And you're going to get a better return. The other thing that it represents is that you're open to receive wealth, because now you're adopting a wealth mindset. People with a wealth mindset, they don't mind paying for something that they value. They don't mind because they know they're going to get maybe 5, 10, 20, maybe even 100 times the value in return. So you're open to receive wealth. And so now you're going to respect that someone else deserves to have wealth as well. In other words, that they're in business, you're in business, and you're going to respect the fact that they are in business. I had this conversation with a business owner just a few days ago, and he was sharing with me that he says people are always coming to me and they're either asking me to buy some advertising, or they're asking me to give some giveaway gifts for whatever it is they're doing. And he went down his list of things that people are always asking for. And he says, and oddly enough, when I asked them if they've done business with me ever, it turns out they've done business with his competitor. And he says, well, why don't you go to the competitor? And the response was, well, they said they don't buy ads. Well, I don't know a business that doesn't eventually advertise or market their product. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying I don't know of one. So the point that I'm making is that these people don't understand that payment for business services represent a kind of wealth, and it allows that business to actually share the wealth. So let's talk a little bit more about paying for business services. Now, the reason I want to talk about this also is because if your business is not thriving, first of all, you're constantly thinking in your head that and of course, barring no other emotional challenges and things of that nature that's coming at you from the outside. But even that can't stop you. Okay. But if your business isn't thriving, 9 times out of 10, all right, let's say 10 times out of 10, it is something that has to do with you, because you're at the center of as to whether you get results or not. So you're either in a business that you don't like, you're in a business perhaps that you don't belong in, only because it's not attached to your divine purpose. Okay, your God-given purpose. So it's not attached to your divine purpose, and you're just doing it for the sake of a dollar. But I'll tell you this much, even if you go into a business like that, if you do the work and you, what I call paint by numbers, or you follow the steps, you will still get a return. I just think it leads to burnout a lot faster because you're forcing something. You're doing something that you don't really like. But here's the main reason that when you are having a challenge, receiving that income and getting money coming into your business, it's because, well, You're withholding something that you should be giving. And when you withhold something that you're supposed to be giving, it doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how hard you work, because you're putting out a kind of energy that is saying, I'm not open. It's not free flowing, and I'm holding back. And so when you hold back from someone else, okay, think about it. If you were to lean back and you put your hand on your chest as though you're holding yourself back, okay, you're doing that to another person. But guess what? The exact same thing is happening to you, because that whole what goes around comes around, or you reap what you sow. That's very real. What you're doing is, when you withhold, you have stopped, kind of clogged up the channels through which more wealth can flow to your business. Have you ever met someone? I don't know about you guys, but I have, met someone that's in business. You have a conversation with them and you're thinking to yourself, wow, how is it they're so much more successful than I am? I'm smarter than them in this area. I have more to offer, and you go on and on. My product is better. So you're going down this list of how great what you have to offer is. So that tells you, and they're just thriving. But when you have a conversation with them, that tells you the answer. You notice that they're very giving. They're very open. They're very connecting. They don't have issues with people based on just who they are. In other words, they're not saying, well, I don't want to do business with women. Why? Because they're women. Okay, so in that case, they're withholding from someone. So if you're having challenges like that in your business, you want to open up and you want to do something that will allow your business to flow. I'm a fan of Ralph Waldo Emerson's essays. And I just want to share one. It's just a little excerpt from one of his essays that's entitled Compensation. So Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote that the thief steals from himself. A man pays dearly for a small frugality. Always pay for first or last. You must pay your entire debt. Now, I'm going to skip down a little further. And he says, beware of too much good staying in your hand. It will fast corrupt. Pay it away quickly in some sort. Everything has its price. And if that price is not paid, not that thing, but something else is obtained. It is impossible to get anything without its price. So anytime you're not getting what you desire, or your business isn't growing the way you think it should, take a look at the areas in which you are holding back. Now, I've kind of shared some very general information in terms of look at what you're holding back. So let's be a little more specific. Well, when we're in inflation or people are concerned about a depression and everything that's going on, one of the first things a lot of business owners will do is they will hold back on the most important thing that they should actually increase. And that's marketing. Marketing and advertising and branding and putting their name out there, their information and about their product or their services. So that's one of the things that people do. And so as a result, because now, and this will help illustrate the mindset, because as a result, one of the things that they're thinking is that I need to hold on to this money so I can stay in business. But instead of letting that money go towards the very thing that will bring them more business, that will allow their business to thrive, they hold on to it. So think about that. What are you holding on to when it comes to your business? I'll give you another example. And this is a very real example because I get the opportunity to talk to different business owners. Well, I was talking to a business owner and they were sharing their challenge with me. And so after listening, I explained to them that their administrative staff needed to be trained. And I said, there are lots of workshops out there. And you perhaps want to consider sending your administrative staff to some of those workshops. And so I was asked by the business owner, well, can you train them? And I said, of course, I can train them, but only up to a point. Okay. And there are some workshops that they are still going to have to attend. And so I said, but you're going to make that money back very quickly because they're going to be more efficient. They're going to help you run your business because they're your first line of defense. And so if your administrative staff is not trained properly, well, it doesn't make your business look good. And while they may be saying the wrong things, and I've talked to businesses or called businesses where the first person on the phone is someone from the administrative pool. And they're either rude or they just say, well, I don't know. They don't offer to take a name and a number, so they don't work to find out if they can really help. So they're very disinterested. But as I shared with this business owner, because that was one of his complaints, I shared with him that, you know what, it's because your staff's not trained. And he said, well, right now, money's tight. So what does that mean? That means he's holding on. He's going to withhold that good from training his own staff. And I said, okay. And I explained to him what I think the outcome will be if he continued to hold on. And he says, well, I'll pay you. Can we negotiate? And of course I shared my fee, and it's not an exorbitant fee. But he says to me, well, if we could cut that in half, I think we could do business. And there it is again, holding back. Okay. So you want your staff to be trained to be very good at what they do to make you more money, but you want to hold back money from someone else. So that's another example. Here's one more as we start to wrap up. Another one is when an individual or a business owner spends as much time as they can, and I kind of touched on this earlier, as much time as they can trying to get as much free information or as many freebies as they can possibly get so that they can get to where they want to be. And again, a very real conversation that I had with a business owner. And I said, okay, so let me get this straight. You do all of these things and you say it's all free. And now you're asking me, what can you do to make more money? And what you want me to do now is you would like me to tell you free how you can make more money. And you're not concerned as to whether I'm making any money or you're not offering me anything. So what I did is I told them, I will tell you this free. And that makes me on the giving side. So when you're a giver, you're going to get a return. Okay. Because you're not withholding. Now I'm entitled to withhold my training services, and because my services, all of them are not free. I have a few freebies. And however, I said, but I'm going to tell you this one because I think if you conquer this one thing, then I think you'll take the lid off of your lack of cash flow, and I think it'll start to flow. And of course, I shared what I'm sharing with you guys right now. And I said, you're withholding all of your money and you're pretending that you don't have any money. And she says, well, I don't. And I says, and you're confessing that you have no money, instead of saying, let me see if I can find some money. Let me find out what I can do, instead of giving your all. That's one of the kind of the first law of bringing in more income or increasing your prosperity or improving your life, whether it's as far as wealth is concerned or health or even your relationships. The object of the game is to do something. Now, there are times when we have to just be still and let things work themselves out because you don't want to coerce anything. And I talked about that earlier in one of the podcasts when I talked about adaptability. So I am going to put that in the show notes. And so you'll have that link in case you missed that podcast. And so the thing I want you to understand, that that's the first rule. You have to do something. You have to put something out so that something can come back in. And you put it out with the understanding that yes, there is going to be a return on whatever it is you're looking for. For example, I've been talking about money because this on Thursdays, we talk about businesses and how to create that profitable business. But I want to use another example so you can see that this works across the board. Your health. It's amazing how people want to be healthy, but they don't want to exercise. They don't want to eat right. So if you want to be healthy, do something first. And doing something is not going to the doctor and get medicine. I mean, unless it's so far gone until you need some medicine to help you out. And at that point, to help you become strong enough so you can exercise, so that you can eat right. And I imagine you're strong enough to at least start eating right, medicine or no medicine, because it takes food to live. So do you see, you have to do something. When something goes out, something is going to come back in. And that's the part that you want to be most interested in. You want to pay attention to what are you putting out? Because so that's why that's what payment for business services represent. It represents the respect that you have for your business. It represents that you are so confident that you're going to get a return. It represents the fact that you believe if you purchase the right services and get the right information and you invest, here's the beauty of it. You're investing in yourself, even though that money is going out to someone else, but you're investing in yourself because that's a form of faith. It's kind of like tithing, and we're not going to get into that because, we're talking about your business. But it still applies. It's like tithing, where people give 10% of their income. Okay. They're going to get a return back. I've been tithing for, I don't know, as far back as I can remember. And I've done it both ways. In other words, I've tithed faithfully and gotten a return. And at some point, I can remember once I thought, wow, if I didn't tithe, okay, would I get a return? I mean, does this really work? And I can tell you right now, when I didn't, I spent the money a lot faster. I didn't even know where it went. And I did not get a return, the return. So withholding will really hurt your business. Right now, while everything is going on, if you're believing in inflation and you're buying into everything that's going on, and I'm not saying inflation isn't real, but what I'm saying is it's a man-made thing and it's been created by someone somewhere. Okay, namely the people in Washington. Okay, but they're not having a cash flow problem because, well, they're giving the money away. But this is not the time to get on my political soapbox. But the point that I'm making to you guys is that you have to understand that when you pay for services, you're going to get a return. Now, you're not to be just really flip with your money and just give it away. Oh, I've got plenty and I'll get lots back. No, it has to be strategic. Okay, you find out what's missing. What do you need in order to make that business thrive? And then you get the money for that and then you go for it. And so that's how you do it. I want to give you guys one more story before we wrap up. There was someone who wanted to actually be a guest on my podcast. And I was sharing with that person that at the time I said, well, I'm about to start bringing guests back, which by the way, I am. So we have a guest coming up. It's going to be great. And you guys will hear more about it probably next week. So, and that person, I remember saying to them, and it was a super small fee. I mean, I said, this is only to cover the administrative fees, to pay the virtual assistant to take care of this, to edit the podcast and that. And it was really a small fee, I promise you. And that person didn't even blink. And that person said, I don't pay for things. And I thought to myself, wow, you have a lot of nerve. The podcast, although it's free to you guys, the podcast is a part of my business. Okay. Because and it's a part of my purpose, my God-given purpose. All right. To share information that will help people understand what it means to do life with power, and that it's within them to do that, and that they are built by design to win, and to provide strategies and ideas for building a magnificent life. So that means they're coming from where they are to realizing how magnificent they can be, and how magnificent they actually are in the present moment. And they just need to choose to embrace it. So I take that very seriously, the information that I provide. And I thought, wow, so basically, you're just going to, without even blinking, without even hesitation, tell me I don't pay for things. And I thought to myself, so you should be naked and hungry. Okay, I know I had to say it, but I didn't say it out loud, of course. I just thought it to myself, if you don't pay for things. So what you're saying is you want to take advantage of me. Okay, even though it is a business service. And then they explained to me why they wanted to be on the podcast. Well, I want to sell my book. And I thought, so I'm supposed to help you make money, but I'm not even going to make money. I'm just saying pay for the administrative fees. So I hope you guys get the picture that payment for business services is extremely important, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Even if you're not, but I'm assuming mostly aspiring and seasoned entrepreneurs and new entrepreneurs are listening to this. Stop convincing yourself that you can't afford something. And I've shared this probably, I don't know, maybe 3 times over the course of this week, but I'm here to tell you guys that when I wanted something, I made the sacrifice. And I've shared it that I pawned some things. Something that was I loved, my little handheld television back then. So do what it takes to get to where it is you want to be, because it's not the money, it's what the money represents. And you investing in yourself, that money is representing an expanded mindset, a growth mindset, and faith in your ability to build that business that's going to bring you the profit that's going to allow you to build your magnificent life. So with that being said, in the show notes, I will have the podcast that I mentioned about adaptability, but also I will have a link. I have a masterclass that's coming up, because if you're having challenges building your business and building your own income, then my masterclass is going to provide some really great answers. You're going to walk away with a blueprint. You'll be able to download it, fill it in, and when you're done, you're going to have a blueprint that you can follow for months to come, okay, or years, until you scale up, and then you'll be able to you'll know how to scale that blueprint up so you can continue to go to the next level. We're also going to talk about what's stopping you from getting to where it is you desire to be. So we're going to cover a lot of things. I'm going to give you the truth behind manifestation. I'm going to give you the truth behind overcoming fear. Okay. And these aren't just things I read in a book. Yes, I studied it, but I lived it, because I had to overcome some fears of my own. So I want you guys to check it out. Just go to Designing Your Life Achievers Academy /courses/build your own income. Or just go to designingyourlifeachieversacademy.com, and it's right there on the home page. Or you can just click on the link in the show notes and take a look. And I look forward to hanging out with you guys. It's going to be amazing. We're going to get the opportunity to talk to one another. You're going to get the opportunity to share some of your very real challenges or very real concerns. If you're an aspiring entrepreneur, you'll get the opportunity to get the answers to your questions, because this is going to be a 3-day live masterclass. And I'm going to teach. If you said, well, I don't even know how to generate money, I'm going to teach you that as well. And I'm going to teach you how to earn that money in 30 days or less, actually in 7 days or less, some of the things you can do. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of great information. What I've done is I've made it extremely affordable. because I don't want anyone to say, I would love to participate, but I don't have enough money, and use inflation as an excuse. If you own a business, then you owe it to yourself to learn what it is you need to learn so that you can open up and start to thrive more, do more, and have more, and learn how to be more. So we're going to cover some different things about success and how your connection to your business and the daily actions that you take can help you move up a lot faster. I'm one of those people that believe in power, and most importantly, that quantum energy, that quantum power. Listen, you guys, check out the show notes and remember to do life with power, because you are built by design to win.